Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I'm really excited about this video. So it might be a bit long. I'm going to try and make it not so long-winded. I'll give a quick summary of the things that I've learned about Jiu-Jitsu and then how it's actually affected me. So Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu was created by the samurai. It was the art of hand-to-hand combat when you were dismounted or you'd lost your sword. They implement chokes and joint locks as well as throws in order to subdue an attacker in a combat situation. The Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu became Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu when a Japanese fighter went to Brazil and the Gracie family modified it in order to help a smaller person fight a bigger, stronger person, as well as removing traditional things where they would have made room for a sword. The UFC was started, and UFC 1 is when the whole world was shocked and we found out that Jiu-Jitsu is legit. They took all the different peoples, different styles, different sizes into one competition, and at the end of the day it was a 175-pound guy in a gi who won, and the world learned that Jiu-Jitsu was legit. The way Jiu-Jitsu works as a system is it takes a person down to the ground. The reason we do that is because it removes all the chance of explosive energy, the lucky knockout punch or kick or whatever. Once the person is on the ground, we get past their legs because you can get a lot of danger is still done by those legs. We hold them in a hierarchy of pins, moving from knee on belly to side control, mount to back take. Once we have controlled them in the pin, we look to submit them. And that is the way that Jiu-Jitsu works. Jiu-Jitsu has a belt system, moving from white belt all the way to black belt. Jiu-Jitsu it's not easy to get belts. You don't find a lot of 13-year-old black belts. So you have to be 18 years of age, and it just gives it so much more validity and makes it more genuine when you have that. Now, that all being said, how does Jiu-Jitsu affect me, James? Well, the first thing I noticed is that you have to be humble. I went to Jiu-Jitsu in my first class. I was abused. And it wasn't that I was abused, but I had a big ego. I left the class and I puked, and I didn't want to do it ever again, but I knew that there was something to it. It was legit. I train under Emily Shield, under Tried and True Jiu-Jitsu. Shout out to Professor Emily. We have an amazing family, and that's the other thing that Jiu-Jitsu gives you, is it not only does it teach you humility, but it gives you a community again. Community of like-minded people who tell the truth, because the mat doesn't lie. You can tell me you're the baddest dude ever and we slap and bump and we're gonna find out. And that's the best part about Jiu-Jitsu, is it makes you tell the truth. The other thing that I loved about Jiu-Jitsu was it gives you a very deep sense of confidence, because you are training in a combat sport in actual time with struggle with a person right there. It's not shadow boxing. It's not going light. And I used to do boxing, and the problem with boxing was if we had sparred at 100% every day, we wouldn't last very long. In Jiu-Jitsu, you can. That being said, it is known for being the gentle art. So going into it, you have the ability to train really hard with people. There is still risk of injury, of course, with everything. You don't get something for nothing. You don't get to become a really dangerous, badass dude without getting swollen fingers and sore wrists and elbows and shoulders and knees and, but as a guy who has 2 herniated discs, I haven't had very many issues with my body. Not to mention the physical fitness. Physical fitness is huge. I have never maintained a healthier body with doing something that is so fun. It's a puzzle that you play with somebody's body and with your body, and you solve this puzzle with strength, with technique, and you figure it out. It's really, really, really fun. Talking about that as well, the mind to body connection. You have such a deep understanding and appreciation for the way your body works, because you get to use it in these very strange and different ways that are new to you. It's very important, in my opinion, for adults to have goals. And in our adult life, we don't have any of these goals. Getting this little purple piece of fabric was a huge deal to me because I had worked for years to get here. And then you have all the psychological effects that happen when you achieve that rank. Like, am I there? Do I deserve it? And that's just all defeating the ego. If your black belt says you're worthy, period. Move forward. Okay, the other thing I wanted to talk about was humility in another sense that I didn't understand. Not only do you learn to be humble as the person who's being attacked, but you learn to be humble as the person attacking. It's beautiful. When you start jiu-jitsu, you're like, okay, be humble, let them beat you up, figure out how you can do this, and then you get good at surviving, and then you'll get your blue belt, and now you'll have 1 or 2 attacks, and you start getting better at attacks, and now you just kick everybody's butt because you're like, I'm back on I'm on the top again. But then new people come in, and you can easily kick their butt. But what is the benefit? They're never going to return. They're not going to come back because you sat there beating them up. So humility, be gentle. Understand that just because you can do that to them doesn't mean you should. And that's where the discipline and the warrior and the being the warrior in the garden better than the gardener in the war, that's where it all comes back to for me, is that I would rather have the confidence, because I go to war every day, that when I move out into the world, I can be peaceful. I am so confident that I am allowing myself to move in peace. So when I see people who otherwise would cause me to become elevated and have a heart rate and start to get angry or upset about them, I can just move past and confidently be fine. Thanks for watching, guys. This is Jiu-Jitsu. I hope I wasn't rambling on for too long. I absolutely love the sport. It's amazing. I recommend it. Shout out again to Tried and True Jiu-Jitsu. Best club in Calgary, hands down. We've got amazing people in there. Our white belts are amazing. Our blue belts are amazing. Our purple belts are amazing. Our brown belts are spectacular. And our black belts are just teachers. I even showed you my bald spot. That's how humble I am to bow to my black belts. Thanks for watching, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.